Welcome to X Maximus, aka Mando's YouTube channel. Today we have a special guest, Paddy the CMO and Co-Founder of Bloktopia. Hey Paddy, how are you?
Very good, Mando. How are you?
Very, very good, and thanks very much for joining me today on this relaxed AMA. I've been asking you for a while, and I know you're extremely busy. But I really do appreciate you getting on board. I feel like I'm sort of a brother from another mother, the leader of the Block Army, and you're the CMO and co-founder of Bloktopia. So I hope there's always a table for me at the Christmas dinner table.
100%, yeah. No, I couldn't say no. Obviously, we are pretty manic over here, but I definitely couldn't say no once you'd revealed yourself and start going with the YouTube videos.
Well, you know what? The funny thing is, I remember you spoke to me and you said, I'm at the marina, you're staying at the marina with your family in Dubai. And I said, look, can I come and meet you for a beer? And I was sitting there on the beach waiting for you to come up, and you sort of come behind me. And I think you were sort of waiting for a chubby guy with a Star Wars t-shirt and a mustache to be sitting there. But we got on really well. It was nice, wasn't it? Nice few beers.
It was great, yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect. I do remember that, and it's a funny thing, isn't it? Because you knew what I looked like, but obviously you've not taken the mask off at that stage.
Course,
so
yeah.
I was watching this beach thinking, do I just
who's
look to random table?
Yeah, who's this weirdo? I think if you would have known I was a Scouser beforehand, I don't think you would have met me.
Well, definitely not the case.
Yeah, I'm only joking, mate. I'm only joking. So look, today I just want to I'm going to ask you some questions, and it's going to be nice and relaxed as mates. But there is some questions, obviously, that the Block Army would like to be answered, and I know that you guys are very open and honest. And I'm very, very proud to be a block holder long term. I also own land. I've got my Metaverse office, which I'm still so excited about. But it's very important as well for my followers to cover a few things today, if you don't mind, Paddy. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Fire away. Okay.
So look, a few of the questions I've been asked. I mean, let's just start off with, how did you get involved with Bloktopia? What was the idea behind it, and how did you get involved?
Yeah, well, myself and Ross have known each other for a long time. We went to university together, and I think it's one of those things where we always saw each other kind of working together, but it's just taken a while for that opportunity to come along. I got into the corporate marketing world. Ross is an entrepreneur. Has worked in many sort of successful businesses and run many successful businesses in the past, but I think he got kind of swept into the world of crypto back in kind of 2016, 2017, and he's never really looked back from there. And I think the answer that I often give here as to sort of how it formulated and came about was really, it was sort of Ross's idea and vision, in that it's quite challenging, I think, and as someone who is newer to the crypto space than Ross, I could definitely relate to this at the time when we were first started talking about Bloktopia. Where do you go? Like, what do you do? Who do you turn to? How do I know that Mando is the right video to watch? What other influencers should I listen to?
Exactly.
What exchanges, what blockchains are good? All of this information's out there, but it's in lots of various places. And I think the idea for Bloktopia was always to bring everything together into one place, and a trusted place, something that, we want brands in there that we believe in, that we know we can trust. And for a new user, but also for someone who's really experienced in crypto, you should be able to come in and get the information that you need and the content that you need. And that was sort of the main premise of what we wanted to make. Then obviously when Meta or Facebook announced they were turning into Meta, the press that the Metaverse sort of started to get last year, we suddenly found ourselves in a position where lots of major brands, sports clubs, artists were kind of knocking at the door saying, you know, we're looking to have a Web3 strategy, we need a Metaverse strategy. We don't really know what a Metaverse is though, but if you could kind of help us out, we want to be in there. So our sort of stance with this is we don't want to jump in and do things for the sake of it. Fundamentally, with the home of crypto, we've got a long-term vision that we want to help enable mass adoption of cryptocurrency and NFTs. We really believe in the sector. And that's what Bloktopia is here for. It's to make life easier for people that want to, that believe in crypto, that want to learn more about it and want to sort of live in our world. But that doesn't mean that there can't be kind of cool events laid on top of that. And so we're working that into the plan. But we've taken a step back as we've been doing our roadmap recently, we've taken a step back and sort of reevaluated. And fundamentally, we're focused on people that come into Bloktopia, whether they be individuals, artists, brands. They have to have some sort of vested interest in cryptocurrency and NFTs.
Yeah. Fantastic. I mean, we all know how Bloktopia and Block exploded in a good way last year. I remember speaking to you because you see me prolifically tweeting blog posts last year, and you actually reached out just to say hi to me. And I had to check initially that you were actually the real Paddy, and we got talking and whatever, and for me it was such a journey. You know the journey that you went through yourself. You actually went on holiday, which was planned to Spain at the time with the family, and I don't think that you had a minute to spend with the family while you were away because the price was just going up and up. And even though the price is not what you're focused on, it was still a rush to see the hype in the whole marketplace over Bloktopia for that period of time.
Yeah, strangest holiday I've ever been on, and definitely wasn't a favourite with the wife. That holiday.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, it was ill-timed really. We'd only just launched and things were going pretty crazy. I was taking calls at sort of 10:30 at night with the likes of Jake Paul and the Anti-Fun team, just sort of a mad position that we were in that period of time. And obviously it was the best performing IDO of 2021. So
yeah, congratulations.
And there was a lot of demand to sort of speak to us guys, I guess. And it's great. And we sort of have always been very proud and humbled by that fact, but quite a crazy position to be in as well. Where, if I just go back to your original question, I was from the corporate marketing world, and so I was working in advertising fundamentally and making adverts for TV and stuff like that, and that was great, and I really enjoyed my time there. But this is it's a completely different world.
It is, yeah.
And what I love about the cryptocurrency sector is people help each other. Doors open.
They do, yeah.
And there's just way less red tape. Everyone's sort of just got everyone's back, and we felt that straight away. That was a really nice position to suddenly be in.
For me, the crypto community, there's a huge amount of fantastic, genuine, honest people in there, and I've met some of the best friends in the world through crypto. Unfortunately, and one of the reasons why I kept my helmet on for such a long time, you have, trolls like you do in sort of any part of the world, but they're sort of behind the keyboard, they're hidden, and sometimes they think they can say what they like, and that was one of the reasons I stayed behind my helmet. And then it was only afterwards, I've told this story on camera, but my marketing manager and my wife said, who cares? Be yourself and let them come. And in all honesty, I've actually had less people being negative when I took my helmet off than I did before, because they can see how genuine and honest I am. But yeah, what I love about Bloktopia is it's, the whole idea of 21 floors, 21 million Bitcoin. The whole, it's one of the only commercial centres. You've got all the big names in there. I mean, the first day I seen the promo video, I mean, the whale group that I'm involved in, we looked at it, we went, oh my God, this is unbelievable. And, you know, it was always a wonder if these are going to come to fruition, and you've done everything you said. All these big names are part of Bloktopia. I mean, hat off to you. I mean, everyone's in there. CoinMarketCap, everyone's in there in this utopia, Bloktopia of in the crypto sphere. So for me, it's got so much room to grow. And obviously, you know, we're not going to discuss the price. That's not your bag. But, you know, the whole market's took a tumble. The whole market's took a massive tumble, and there's quite a bit of negativity in the market overall about many different projects. But you guys keep on delivering. I mean, Tron, a few days ago, we've got at their office. I've seen that you were following McDonald's as well, and following you, and there's been a lot of hype, and it's something that probably you can't talk about. We're having NDAs or whatever, but that's something that the community keeps on talking about. Imagine if there was a McDonald's in Bloktopia.
I think these, do you know what, and I'll talk in general terms here about partners. Everyone at the moment in the corporate world, in the global brands that sort of sit outside of cryptocurrency, are being asked by their leadership teams what their Web3 strategy is. Yeah. And so business development teams, marketing teams for major brands are almost panicking because they don't know the answer to that, and it's still all really new. It's really new when you're building a metaverse. A lot of the things we're doing every day is really new. A lot of the options that they have for events are a kind of Roblox, Decentraland sandbox, and those guys are sort of, you know, they're setting the foundations now for what these sort of events will be in the future, but I think they can only get bigger, better, more engaging, and that's our challenge, to be able to provide that. But the appetite's certainly there. You know, the appetite is there. And I guess what I'd say, I don't want to dwell on the price, but I think one point that I just did want to make today is people forget our public sale price was 0.00025 cents. You know, and we're still kind of hovering over a cent today. Obviously, we went up to 17, but we're still in a position where, yes, the market's gone bad, but we're still a little bit overwhelmed really by where we moved from.
Of course. I mean, I personally called it on Twitter 0.5 cent, and you know, without going into price, but from a personal level, I put a lot of money into it, put 100k into it, and you know, that was due to 50k one day and 50k the next day when it didn't go to zero when I woke up, and that was just down to the fact that the promo video excited me that much, and everything on the promo video has come to fruition, and you know, you're delivering more and more and more, and you know, a lot of the comments that I see, there's such a great community. I accumulated probably around about 25,000-30,000 Bloktopia block investors over a short period of time, and that's when they were all asking me to become leader of the Block Army, and I was like, okay, and I put a poll out there, and it was like 97%, and like 7,000-8,000 people had took part, and then I was the leader of the Block Army, and for me, I got quite a bit of backlash, as you remember. You know, there's always going to be a top at a certain cycle. And I do remember you saying to me, which was kind, I was going through a lot of hell for a short period of time. I had COVID, and I got a bit of abuse because the price was going down. And the price goes down with every project in certain cycles. It's, you know, investors should realise this, but sometimes with games and, you know, metaverse and whatever, it can attract, you know, the younger investor or whatever it may be. And I got a bit of backlash, and you seen that, you did message me, and I thank you for that, saying that you're okay. And, you know, we support you on this in a way of, you know, you've taken a bit of crap, so to speak. But, you know, everything quietened down, and we've got some new investors involved. And for me, I genuinely believe that Bloktopia will be the best metaverse project in the whole of cryptocurrency. I do believe that. And the whole of crypto it's going to be the best. And I firmly believe that, and not just because I'm on here with you and I've got an office and I've got land and I hold still a lot of tokens, because I think what you guys are doing from a commercial aspect and all these partners, I just think, you know, it's the next cycle when it comes around, the bull cycle, which I foresee being, you know, in a matter of months, weeks or whatever. And when that happens, you know, you guys are in great stead to get right up there. And, you know, another question, and, you know, tongue in cheek, but, you know, firmly, we see Binance everywhere, all over your promo videos and Binance NFTs and whatever. Obviously, you've got a relationship with Binance, and even though I love KuCoin, Binance would give Bloktopia the liquidity to be the best metaverse project. Is there any chance of any secret alpha to be released on the Binance listing, or if it's going to happen?
Yeah, look, Binance NFT have a store in Bloktopia. We've done an ad block sale through Binance NFT. We're talking to those guys about potentially some other things, some other kind of irons we've got in the fire at the moment. When Binance,
when Binance with WEN, that's how not even the real way.
It's literally been with us from day one. I guess it's probably been the number one question. I think we'd have answered it by now if we knew what the answer was.
I mean, look, the thing, you're not denying the fact that you've got a relationship with Binance. You're speaking to Binance probably on a weekly basis over other things. You know, for Binance not to list you would be, you know, everyone would be puzzled. So I suppose without you saying it, it is only a matter of time of it happening. And then for me, I understand when that does happen, it would give an extra set of eyes, more liquidity, and it would get Bloktopia, I was going to say us then, leader of the Block Army, us to the top. And I firmly believe that. And, you know, Block done me really well on partial of the trade, but I still hold a lot of tokens, as you know. And I refer a lot of the friends I have in the marketplace of projects that I work with, I always bring to you guys, don't I? I think you get inundated with me setting up groups and saying, Paddy, can you help them set up a virtual office?
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess just to cover off the centralised exchange thing, so there are certain centralised exchanges. I spoke to one this morning, just before this call actually, and there are certain ones where we'll make a decision where we feel they're not right for us for whatever reason. There could be several reasons to that. There are certain bigger ones that we're in conversations with that are right for Bloktopia, and we hope that happens. These guys have got long processes. They've all got very good proof processes. They've got very long processes, and we're trying to navigate them. So you know, we're doing what we can on our side.
Do you want to have a little chat about Blockpad while you're on, because we weren't planning to speak about that, but do you want to give it an overview to the viewers about Blockpad? I know we're talking about Bloktopia, but obviously that's sort of part and parcel.
Yeah, I can do that. So I guess going back to what we were talking about earlier, Mando, lots of doors opened after our IDO because it had been so successful. A lot of new crypto projects were approaching us and saying, you know, what was the sort of magic formula, I guess, for the block launch. And there wasn't a magic formula. There was lots of different things going on at the time that were obviously in our favour, but there were certain processes that we followed, certain exchanges we lined up with, influencers we lined up with, all sorts of things where we felt like we could help newer projects. So it felt like an opportunity to launch our own launchpad. We set up a team relatively quickly to do that, who've known the crypto world for a number of years. And we launched back end of last year. Sidus Heroes was our first major launch, and we've done several since. So we've set up Blockpad, it was called VIP, it's now called Incubate.
Yeah.
And Blockpad Essential. Blockpad Essential is more just a launch pad. It doesn't offer too much more support outside of just offering that projecting ideas to our community. Incubate, we're much more kind of hands-on with the project. We'll work with them to offer, I guess, the process that we went through ourselves, to put them in conversations with the people that we had conversations with, and really to sort of help elevate the brand. So because of the virtue of the fact that that takes a while, we don't have as many incubate projects as we do essential projects, but we're starting to tick through quite a lot. It made sense to support essential with a new token ePad. So you stake ePad in essential projects, and for incubate you use the block token. So that was nice as well because it gave block another utility. Things are going well. We're new at being a launch pad as well. We've been finding our feet on a couple of projects, but I think the team are starting to settle in. We've got some really exciting things coming up.
I think it's a great addition, by the way. I just wanted to hear your point of view to the viewers, but for me, I love Blockpad. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's a great addition to Bloktopia, and as things progress in the future, there's a lot of alignments between the two projects as well, which is great.
Yeah, it makes sense, because if we're wanting, this long-term vision of enabling mass adoption of cryptocurrency, bringing trusted projects into Bloktopia, what better than projects that we work closely with on their launch, that we believe and we think are going to, succeed. So there is definitely a big synergy between the two brands.
Brilliant. So just going back, we won't keep you all day, Paddy. We know how big you are, busy you are. Just to go back to Bloktopia. So one thing that we're all aware of, there was a lot of negativity over the vesting schedule, and every single time I'd put a blog post out, or you would, even on your main chats, you'd see, the price is going down because of this and that. For me, you had a vesting schedule. Yeah. Is there anything different that you did other than what you said you were going to adhere to as part of the vesting schedule? If you cover that just for the viewers.
Yeah, of course. I think there was a misconception somewhere that the vesting schedule was in monthly releases. That was never something that was communicated by us. We've always tried to be really transparent through Medium about our vesting schedule. It's always been tied into the land sale. So we've actually done more releases at this stage now than we anticipated that we would do before we had the NFT portal live.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Simon Benson, our CTO, covered this off in an AMA on Discord that he did a couple of weeks ago. But unfortunately, we had a bad experience with a third party who were originally working through the launch of our NFT portal, and it put us back. It set us back to make the decision essentially that, as with everything else we do, we wanted to bring it in house because we feel like we've got a little bit more control.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
So hopefully, for those, what I would say to those early private investors is the key utility of Block was always to buy land within Bloktopia, and then to be a currency within Bloktopia as well.
Yeah.
Very soon we're going to be able to start selling that land for our portal.
Yeah.
We're really close. So that's something that means we can start doing those releases a lot more frequently as we start selling phases of the land in Bloktopia.
Yeah. I've already got my stamp on a few pieces, as you know, because obviously we've discussed it. But for me, it's such an exciting thing to own NFT land within Bloktopia. Initially, I wanted a hell of a lot more, and then I thought I was getting carried away. It's a bit like getting an ape NFT, isn't it? I was actually thinking about getting one of them, and the wife had a stern word. But I think to have land in Bloktopia, knowing in my mind or believing in my mind where this project's going to go, and 18 months, 2 years, 5 years. It's, you know, I'll keep it with pride. So yeah.
And I think that, you know, the kind of big news, this hasn't been communicated yet anywhere actually, Mando, but the big news is that it will be live in May. We know that.
Okay.
So the public launch of the Bloktopia NFT land sale portal will be in May.
Fantastic.
We are going to sell in phases, like I've said. The level 1, which was in the alpha, you know, there will be NFTs available for level 1. So this is kind of the premium floor. So hopefully, you know, it'll be worth the wait. We know it's taken a little bit longer than we'd have liked, but hopefully it'll be worth the wait. And basically, we want people to be getting that block ready. So you know, it's utilities sort of finally kind of, and we can start selling that land and moving through those phases of token unlocks, as you've mentioned as well. So
fantastic.
So yeah, it's all happening very soon.
Brilliant. I mean, look, it comes down to a lot of people, unfortunately, don't read white papers or schedules or whatever. I'm not saying all of them don't, but there's a majority that don't, and they'll ape in and then they'll read it afterwards, and then, you know, they'll get upset. On a final one, is there any chance when I'm in my office, in the metaverse, is there any chance in the future that I could actually order a virtual Happy Meal? Not a Happy Meal, but a Big Mac. Why would I need a Happy Meal? But a Big Mac. Is that a possibility, yes or no?
Do you want to do that within the Mando office?
You know, anywhere in Bloktopia, is there anywhere I can order a Big Mac in the future, do you think?
Well, why not? I mean... You literally just thought. I think the thing with a concept like that is all you've got to think through is the logistics of how that works. If you can get
McDonald's in there,
a McDonald's delivered to your house through a Deliveroo, then
okay,
there's no reason why you can't.
Okay, I just thought there might have been a McDonald's in there. That's why I was asking. In the future.
I get where you were going.
Okay, Paddy, listen, thank you so much for coming on today. I really, really appreciate it. It's been lovely catching up. And next time you're in Dubai, we'll meet up for a few beers again, yeah?
Definitely. And we really appreciate all your support as ever, man.
I appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Take care, mate. Bye-bye.
Best. See you.